Hello, it's Joel again, back with J&K Vintage, giving you a couple reviews of a couple vinyls that we've got coming out with the new releases. Starting us off, we've got Who Will Save the World? It's the Mighty Groundhogs. Amazing, amazing Garage Blues album. The cover art and inside panel art was done by an actual DC Comics artist, which kind of shines through when you see how awesome and comic all the artwork is to it. And honestly, the album itself is titled perfectly because this amazing style of garage blues rock could have saved the world. It could have. And it's also their last album made with their entire original lineup. It starts out, side one, with the track Earth Is Not Room Enough, which is very groovy, very stripped down, very raw, but still really solid track. I'm a big, big fan of it. Closing out side one, we have Music is the Food of Thought. It's another real groovy track. The drums kind of brum brum. They come through real strong. Get your head bobbing, get your toe tapping. Overall, an awesome way to close out side one. Moving on to side two, track two is Death of the Sun, which is a wild song. It's probably their most garage sounding song, I would say, on the album, in that it has that very, very stripped down, very intense, very just like a bunch of guys coming together to make some solid rock without needing all these kind of lame conventions that come with studio produced albums. Um, Closing out side two, we do have the song "The Gray Maze." It's a little more arty, or I guess pretentious than most of their other work, but at the same time, it really encapsulates everything that made them so solid as a band before their lineup started to fall apart after this album came out. Moving on to album number two, we have Rotary Connection and their eponymously titled album, Rotary Connection, in case you didn't know what eponymous meant. Funny little fact, it actually is Minnie Riperton, the R&B soul singer's first musical project. At the time, she was working for Chess Records as a receptionist, and then they had said that they wanted to start a new side label, which they then called Cadet Concept. And Cadet Concept was going to do experimental albums, psychedelic albums, get a little bit more wild than Chess Records was known for. On side one, we have Turn Me On, which is super groovy, real kind of like bow, 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 get you kind of moving type of song. A bit more, or say a bit less, experimental than most of the other tracks on it, but still overall a great song. Just comes in at just over 3 minutes, so it's a great pop song. Finishing out side one, which they like to call Trip One, you have Like a Rolling Stone. It is a cover of the Bob Dylan track of the same name. They do a bit different with it. The vocals get a bit Gregorian at times. You almost get the feeling that you're at some funk church, funk psychedelic church, for lack of a better way to phrase it. But it is awesome. I'm a very big fan of it, and I think that their covers are great. Moving on to another one of their covers. On side two, we do have Soul Man by Sam and Dave, which is what they start out the other side with. Now, they actually shorten that song. They actually have it only about 2.5 minutes, I believe, which is shorter than the original Sam and Dave track. But I feel like they take some of what we like about the original without making it so grandiose. You don't have those big horn fills of coming through. That was a weird horn, but you know what I mean. Moving on from that, we have their one of their wildest tracks, Memory Band, on side two. It's track number 11. It really brings together everything that the band was. Memory Band has groovy funk sections. It has great R&B harmonization of the vocals. It has that Gregorian, Latin-esque church feel to it. The instrumentation is spatial. It's a really gorgeous track. I would definitely say to give this album a listen. I'm a big fan of Rotary Connection. Moving on to album number three, we've got Transformer by David Stoughton. Now, don't let the giant forehead distract you. Because it is a great album. One of the first, I guess, what could be classified as electronic albums that really had came out. Now, I mean, it's not electronic in the sense of today's EDM, where you've got all this dubstep and bum 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 and this trap music and all that. It's definitely not in that sense. It's electronic in its filters and in how it brings the instrumentation to the front. The album itself has two different vocalists on it. The first side has vocals done by John Nichols. John Nichols' voice is very similar to Doug Yule from the later Velvet Underground years. The album starts out with "The Sun Comes Up Each Day," which I actually find very similar, once again, to go back to Velvet Underground, to the song "Who Loves the Sun." It has that kind of like happy, happy kind of da 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 that goes along with it, and the vocals they just ring over the top. It's a cute song. I mean, it's a happy song. You can't go wrong with it. However, closing out side one, we switch it quite a bit. It goes to "The Anecdote of Horatio and Julie." Now, this song uses separate timed vocal rounds. It stretches itself out to 8 minutes. It tells a story of Horatio and Julie. I'm not going to spoil none of the story for you, but I would definitely say give that a listen. If you're wondering if you're going to be into this album, go on and YouTube "The Anecdote of Horatio and Julie," and it'll really tell you everything you need to know about David Stoughton and his abilities as a producer, as just someone who arranges music, because he did do all the music and all the lyrics for the entire song, even though he doesn't sing on side one for the entire album. Pardon me. Moving on to side two, starts out with "Saving for a Rainy Day." And that's basically the chorus. It's very, very catchy. It grabs you. I'm a big fan of the song. Probably my favorite song, honestly, on the entire album. Just due to how catchy it is, and how he takes the guitars. It creates this amazing groove that just grabs you and holds on tight. And then closing out the album, we have their artiest of art. It is called "I Don't Know If It's You." And this song is bum 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 10 minutes. He stretches it out. And if you can make a 10-minute song that keeps me interested the entire time, that is impressive. Because most of the time I'm listening to a 10-minute song, I reach like the 7-minute mark, that 8-minute mark. And I'm just waiting for it almost to end. And I hate to say that as someone who loves music, but I catch myself waiting for it to end. When's the next track going to come? Because it's so long. But David Stoughton actually keeps you brought into it. He keeps you interested the entire time. And that is very impressive to me. And if for nothing else, that's definitely worth the listen. Now, next week, I'm be coming back at you with 3 new ones. I know I've been slacking for quite some time since the last review came out, but I'm going to be on top of it. So look forward to them coming. Remember, go check out "Who Will Save the World?" The Mighty Groundhogs. Check it out. Also, check out "Rotary Connection." I hit myself in the face. That's how good this album is. Boom. Thirdly, Transformer, David Stoughton, the forehead. There's so much genius inside of that forehead. Check it out. I'm Joel. What's up?